We're getting ready for Game 3 of the 1971 World Series. Game 1 in Baltimore, the Orioles were leading 4-2 after 4 innings, and then the Pirates scored single runs in the fifth and the sixth innings, tying the game. In the bottom of the fifth, when the Orioles were leading 4-3, with one out and runners on first and third, Andy Etchebarren flew out to Al Oliver, and he threw out Boog Powell trying to score another insurance run for the Orioles. This ended up looming large because if he would have scored that run and the game continued the way that it ended up continuing, Baltimore would have won that game 5-4. But after 9, game was tied at 5. And then in the 11th inning, for the Pirates, with one out, light hitting Gene Alley tripled in the top of the 11th, and he scored when pinch hitter Jose Pagan singled. That made it 5-4, and the Pirates ultimately won that game 5-4. Game 2 was rained out on Sunday, so it was played on what was supposed to be the travel day on Monday. And Baltimore came out swinging. They scored 5 runs in the first inning, then another 2 in the second, and by the end of the third inning, they were leading 8-1. But then the Pittsburgh bullpen of Bob Veal and Bob Miller shut down the Orioles, and Pittsburgh chipped away. They ultimately lost the game 8-5, but they didn't just roll over and die when they were down 8-1. That game also featured a rain delay of a little bit over an hour. All right, I'm going to take a timeout. This is WJST in Parma, Norwich, Tuscaloosa, and Utah. We will be back in a few minutes with the starting lineups for Game 3. All right, we're at Three Rivers Stadium for Game 3 of the 1971 World Series. Game 1 was played on Saturday in Baltimore, and Game 2 was scheduled for Sunday, but it was rained out, so it was played on the travel day of Monday, October 11th. This is Tuesday, October 12th. And the Orioles front office had wanted to play Game 2 at night so that more of their fans could see the game. It was thought that NBC, who is telecasting the games, would go along with it, and that the commissioner's office might go along with it because there actually is a night game scheduled in this series. That will be Game 4. And the thought is that starting next year, all weeknight World Series games are scheduled to be played at night. this, but it was the Pittsburgh Pirates who said no, they wouldn't agree to play that game at night because they didn't want to play. End up playing two day games after night games, which today would have been, and then Thursday will be because the game on Wednesday, October 13th, Game 4, is scheduled to be the first night game played in World Series history. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. For the visiting Baltimore Orioles, leading off will be the left fielder, Don Buford. Batting second, the right fielder, Frank Robinson. Batting third, the second baseman, Dave Johnson. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Boog Powell. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Paul Blair. Batting sixth, the catcher, Elrod Hendricks. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Brooks Robinson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Mark Belanger. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Jim Palmer. On defense, the Pirates have Bob Robertson at first base, Dave Cash at second, Gene Alley at shortstop, Rich Hebner at third, Willie Stargell in left, Al Oliver in center, Roberto Clemente in right field, Manny Sanguillen catching, and on the mound, Steve Blass. Steve Blass is fastball pitcher. Tends to keep the ball low. Let's see what he did in the LCS. Yeah, he pitched 2 games in the LCS. He had 2 starts, 1 complete game. He was the losing pitcher in Game 1 against the Dodgers and the winning pitcher in Game 5 against the Dodgers. He had an ERA of 10.03. That was mainly because of well, the Dodgers did have a pretty strong offensive output in both games. Even in Game 5, they scored 7 runs, although they lost 17-7. And let's see, in the regular season, sorry, I forgot to set this up before I started the game. I'm a little under the weather today, so please bear with me. I just lost what I was looking for. In the regular season, Steve Blass was 21-9. He had an ERA of 2.39. He had 35 starts. He pitched 16 complete games. 275 in the third innings. Gave up 240 hits. He walked 104, or he walked 77. He struck out 104. He only gave up 14 home runs. So he had a good regular season. It's 56 degrees here in Pittsburgh. The wind speed is 4 miles per hour, going from right to left. I've been to Three Rivers Stadium a couple times in the past, but I don't remember how it was laid out or these wins would have been coming from. Not like I would be familiar with how they operate in Cleveland. So here we go with Game 3 of the World Series. The series is tied at 1 game apiece right now. Leading off for Baltimore is Don Buford. He is 4 for 10 in the World Series. He has 1 home run, 1 run batted in, and he has scored 2 runs. Here's the first pitch. Changeup. Low and away, ball 1. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 1. A little bit of chin music there with the fastball. Ball 2. Swing and a miss on another fastball. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Up around the letters. Ball 3. Buford hits pop up on the infield. Cash takes charge, and he's got, Alley called for it first, then Cash took over. Made the catch. 1 out. I don't know if I went through the Pittsburgh defense. Bob Robertson's at first. Dave Cash at second. Gene Alley's at shortstop. Yeah, I think I went through this. Rich Hebner's at third. Willie Stargell's in left. Al Oliver's in center. Roberto Clemente in right. Manny Sanguian catching, and Steve Blaze. Yeah, I did go through that. Oh, I apologize. Batting second here is Frank Robinson, the right fielder. He is 4 for 9 in the World Series. He has 2 home runs. 2 runs batted in. He's scored 3 runs. He has stolen a base and grounded into 1 double play. He's hitting .444. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Dave Johnson's on deck. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Fastball caught the inside edge. Strike 3. Sanguian trapped the ball. He had a tag Robinson for the out. That's strikeout number 1 for Steve Blass. Here's the third batter. Oh, oof. I gotta take a time out and fix this. Oh, I am so sorry about screwing this up. I did something a little different today, and every time I change something, I make a mistake. Here's Dave Johnson. He is 2 for 9 in the World Series. He has scored 1 run. He's hitting .222. All right, he hits a grounder to second. Cash is up with it to throw to first. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We played a half inning in Game 3. Baltimore nothing. Pittsburgh coming to bat. Here's the Pittsburgh starting lineup. Leading off the second baseman, Dave Cash. Batting second, the center fielder, Al Oliver. Batting third, the left fielder, Willie Stargell. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Bob Robertson. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Roberto Clemente. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Rich Hebner. Batting seventh, the catcher, Manny Sanguian. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Gene Alley. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Steve Blass. On defense, the Orioles had Boog Powell at first, Dave Johnson at second, Mark Belanger at shortstop, Brooks Robinson at third, Don Buford in left, Paul Blair in center, Frank Robinson in right, Elrod Hendricks catching, and on the mound, Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer is a fastball control pitcher. Is prone to giving up home run, but generally when the bases are empty. Let's see what he did in the League Championship Series. He made one start. He was 0-1 with an ERA of 2.57. I believe he started game 4. I don't even remember now. I think Cuellar started game 1, then Dobson. Or no, I think Palmer started game 2. I should have. Sorry. In the regular season, Jim Palmer went 19-7 with an ERA of 3.09. Dave Cash leads off for Pittsburgh. He is 1 for 10 with 1 RBI, 1 run scored. Low, ball 1. It's grounder. That was right off of Palmer's leg. And it shot into the outfield. Cash is on first with a single. They're looking at Palmer, and he'll be able to continue. Let's look at that one again. Yikes, that was right off of him. All right, here's Al Oliver. He's 1 for 10. He has a double and a run scored. It's curveball. Cash is off with the pitch. Grounder to Johnson, but it's under his glove. That'll be an error on Dave Johnson. That puts runners at first and second with nobody out. And here's Willie Stargell. He was the MVP of the League Championship Series, and he's continuing with that excellent performance. He is 3 for 7 with a home run, a run batted in, and 2 runs scored. He's hitting .429 in the World Series. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 1. It's grounder to first. Powell boots it. All right. I have to take a timeout to look up something. All right, I'm looking at the box score now. Palmer had started game 3 of the League Championship Series. Baltimore was up 2-1. And he ended up losing that game. Chicago won 4-3. Well, the series was tied when game 3 started. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And Palmer got hamstrung by poor defense. He gave up 4 runs, but only 2 of those were earned. And the Orioles committed 3 errors. Thought that the game started out that way, but that was That was how Game 5 of the National League Championship Series started out with several errors in a row. All right, it's all starting to blend together, and I got. Sorry, I don't appear to be thinking clearly right now. That brings up Bob Robertson. He is hitting 143, one home run, 2 runs batted in. He is 1 for 7 in the series. But he is not a guy you really want to be seen in this situation. Clemente's on deck. He's a guy that the Orioles would probably even less like to see in this situation. Robertson, it's base it up the middle. Cash scores. Oliver rounds third. Hill scores. Stargell takes third. It's 2-0. That brings up Roberto Clemente. He's having a great series. He's hitting .556. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. Let me see. Review what he did in the league championship series. He had 375. As I recall, he got off to kind of a slow start in that series and really picked it up in games 4 and 5. Down and in, ball one. Still nobody out. Swing and a miss, strike one on the fastball. Clemente hits base hit in the right field. Robinson has it. Bob Robertson rounds second. He'll take third. There'll be no throw. Stargell scores. It's 3-0. Pittsburgh. Still nobody out. And here's Rich Hebner, the third baseman. Hebner is 0 for 9 in the World Series. Still looking for his first hit. It's ground ball down the first base line, but that's foul. Swing and a miss, strike one on a changeup. Check the swing. Hendricks appeals. Ump said he held up. Ball one. That was almost in the dirt. Ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Curveball. Hebner chased it. Fouled it back. Liner down the first base line. It's foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Pirates have a 3-run lead already in the first. Ball 3. Full count. Low, ball 4. Clemente moves to second. Bases are loaded again. Still nobody out. Here's Manny Sanguillen. He is 1 for 9 in the World Series. He has a double and a run scored. Palmer had already been hamstrung by 2 errors in this inning. Strike, that was called a little late. Johnson and Powell each have an error in this inning. Not being able to handle some sharp ground balls. Sanguillen hits base hit in the right field. Robinson's up with it. Bob Robertson scores. Clemente rounds third, but he'll hold. Bases are still loaded. It's 4-0. Here is Gene Alley. He's considered to be the weakest hitter in the Pirates lineup, and he is hitting .500 in the World Series. He is 4 for 8. triple and a home run. He had 4 hits in game 5 rather, of the National League Championship Series. So he has turned out to have a good postseason. Inside, ball 1. Bouncer to third, Brooks Robinson. Throws a second. Sanguian takes out Johnson. There's no throw to first. 1 out. Hebner takes third. Clemente scores. It's 5-0 Pittsburgh. Here's the pitcher, Steve Blass. Blass is a good bunter. They're going to play him in the bunt. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 on a fastball. Too high. Ball 1. Lays down a bunt. Brooks Robinson's up with it. Throws to Johnson, covering first. 2 outs. Hebner holds. Here's Dave Cash. He's the 10th hitter of the inning. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. It's a liner down the third base line. That's foul. Ball 1. Ball 2. Base hit into center field. Hebner scores. Alley comes around. He'll score. Comes Earl Weaver. That'll be all for Jim Palmer. Coming in to pitch is Dave Boswell. Boswell did not appear in the League Championship Series. Let's see if I can find what he did in the regular season. Pitched in 19 games. He started 3. He had a record of 1-0 with an ERA of 7.39. He had 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 save. He pitched against Baltimore in the 1969 League Championship Series when he was with Minnesota. And he pitched an inning and a third in the 1965 World Series with the Twins. So he's been on a World Series winner. Here's Al Oliver. He's 0 for 1. He was safe on Johnson's error earlier in the inning. Cash is going. Hendricks throw. He's safe. That's his first stolen base of the series. That pitch was called a ball. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. It's easy to see what the Pirates are thinking. Orioles are down 7-0. So the Pirates have a 7-run lead, but it's only the first inning. And the Orioles have been hitting well in the series, and they got the bats that could make up 7 runs. fairly quickly, in all possibility. So they need to. Pittsburgh needs to keep pushing the attack. Too high, ball two. Curveball, he tipped it. Strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Over it's a liner into right center. That's in the gap. Cash scores. Oliver, he's at second with a stand-up double. That's the 6th hit of the inning for Pittsburgh, and they now lead 8-0. Here's Willie Stargell. He's 0 for 1. He was safe on Boog Powell's error in the first. Yeah, this game is looking like one of the games from the 71 World Series. Looking a little bit like game 2. Strike 2 called on the fastball. Ground ball down the third base line. That's foul. Too high, ball 1. October 12th. That means that today is opening night for the NBA. And tomorrow will be the opening night for the ABA. The NHL started during the past weekend, and that's Tuesday night. Be opening night for the NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers open their season Friday night in Cleveland against the Buffalo Braves. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. And the nightmare inning is finally over for the Orioles. Pittsburgh scored 8 runs. 7 of those were unearned. 6 hits, 2 errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the second inning. It is Pittsburgh 8, Baltimore nothing. The final line for Jim Palmer. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 hits, 8 runs were charged to him. Only 1 of those was earned. He walked 1. He had no strikeouts. It'll be the middle of the order for Baltimore in the second. Boog Powell, Paul Blair, and Elrod Hendricks. Boog Powell is hitting 2 for 8 he has a double and 2 runs batted in. High and outside, ball 1. Low, ball 2. Hits fly ball in right field. Hooking foul. Clementi's after it, but it's in the seats. Ball hits base hit into center field. Oliver cut it off quickly, and Palmer is on first with a single. Here's Paul Blair, who is 3 for 9. He has a double and 2 runs batted in. Curveball, ball 1. Changeup, that was a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Curveball, strike 2 called. It's a liner to short. That was right at Gene Alley. He makes the catch. 1 out. Here's the catcher, Elrod Hendricks. He's 0 for 1 in this series. He started game one, but left with an injury after he was hit by a pitch. And Andy Etchebarren filled in for him for the rest of the game, and Andy Etchebarren started in yesterday's game. High and outside, ball one. Curveball, ball two. That's high and away, ball three. In there at the knee, strike one. Hendricks hits a base hit up the middle. Powell stops at second. Here's Brooks Robinson. He is 4 for 7 in the World Series, hitting .571. He has 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. He scored 3 runs. Three River Stadium's not a good home run park, but we'll see what happens. In the real 71 postseason, going after game 5 at least, Bob Robertson of the Pirates he had 4 home runs in the league championship series against San Francisco. That won 4 games. He had 3 home runs in 1 game. And then going into game 6, he already had 2 home runs in the World Series. So I just watched game 5 of that series, so he's on my mind for that. Inside, ball one. That's high and outside, ball two. He tipped that one, foul ball, strike two. Robinson hits base hit in center field. Powell hold at third. We have the bases loaded. 1 out. Here's Mark Belanger. He is 3 for 9 in the World Series. He has 1 run batted in, and he has scored a run. Swing and a miss, strike one. Curveball, that was around the letters, ball one. Belanger hits a grounder to second. Grounder to short. Alley to second for 1. Robinson took out Cash. There'll be no throw to first. Powell scores. It's 8-1. Here's the pitcher, Dave Boswell. I hope I didn't call him Ken Boswell earlier, because he's a different player. Different position, different team. This early in the game, he's going to hit. Swing and a miss, strike one. Too low, ball one. At the shoulders, ball two. Fouls it back, strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. In the dirt, ball 3. Fly ball down the right field line. Hooking. Foul. Foul ball down the left field line, but that makes the seats. Count remains full. Full count, 2 outs. Boswell hits base hit in the left field. Hendricks scores. Belanger takes third. So it's 8-2. Pittsburgh. Baltimore has runners at the corners. 2 outs. Here's Don Buford. He's 0 for 1. He popped to Dave Cash in the first. Outside, ball 1. Too close, ball 2. Ball 3, 3 balls, no strikes. changeup. Strike one called. Ball four. So bring up Frank Robinson. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning. Curveball, strike one. Robinson chased one out of the strike zone. Robinson, it's a grounder to third. Hebner to second, and that'll end the inning. But Baltimore gets 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They left 3 men on base. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Pittsburgh 8, Baltimore 2. It'll be the heart of the order for Pittsburgh. Bob Robertson, Roberto Clemente, and Rich Hebner. Bob Robertson is 1 for 1 today. He singled up the middle. That scored Dave Cash and Al Oliver. Dave Cash scored what has been so far the only earned run for Pittsburgh. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike one. You got a piece of that one. No balls, 2 strikes. It's fly ball. Makes seats in left field. Too high, ball one. High and outside, ball 2. Robertson's not chasing. Inside, ball 3. He works the count full. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That was a curveball, and he got fooled on that one. 1 out. Here is Roberto Clemente. He's 1 for 1 today. He singled in the first. That scored Willie Stargell. He is 6 for 10 in the World Series, hitting .600. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike one. It's a deep fly ball into center field. Paul Blair going back, it's gone. Home run, Roberto Clemente. That's his first home run of the World Series. It's 9-2. Here's Rich Hebner. He walked in the first inning. High and tight, ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Low, ball 3. Got the outside corner, strike 1. Grounder up the middle, base hit. That's Hebner's first hit of the series. Here's Manny Sanguillen. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. That scored Bob Robertson. It's a base hit in the right field. Hebner holds at second. We have runners at first and second. 1 out. That was hit number 9 for Pittsburgh. Here's Gene Alley, who was 0 for 1. He grounded it into a force play in the first. That scored Roberto Clemente. Low, ball 1. It's a fly ball in the right field. Buford going back. Buford's on the track. He's got it. Hebner tags. He'll take third without a throw. 2 outs. Runners on first and third. And here's the pitcher, Steve Blass. Get a sacrifice bunt in the first. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. It's a grounder to second. Johnson Has it, throws the first. 3 outs. Pittsburgh gets 1 run on Clemente's home run. 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We played 2 here at Three Rivers Stadium, Game 3 of the World Series. Pittsburgh 9, Baltimore 2. In the third inning for Baltimore, it will be Dave Johnson, Boog Powell, and Paul Blair. Dave Johnson is 0 for 1 today. He grounded at Dave Cash in the first. That's wide, ball 1. Right at the knee, strike 1. It's a one-hopper to short. Alley up with it. Throw to first, 1 out. Here's Boog Powell. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second. He hits a grounder right to his opposite number, Bob Robertson. Robertson will take it himself. 2 outs. Here's Paul Blair. He's 0 for 1. He lined to Gene Alley in the second inning. That hit the outside corner. Strike 1 on the fastball. He hits a grounder to second. Dave Cash is up with it. Throws him out. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Pirates 9, Orioles 2 in Game 3 of the 1971 World Series. Third inning for Pittsburgh, top of the order, Dave Cash, Al Oliver, and Willie Stargell. Cash is 2 for 2. He led off the Pirates' first inning with a single. And then he was the 10th hitter in the first inning, and he singled again. That scored Hebner and Alley. Those 2 runs made it 7-0 Pittsburgh. First pitch, low, ball 1, the fastball. It's fly ball down the left field line, but that makes the seats. Cash, it's base hit in the right field. That's his 3rd hit of the game. Here's Al Oliver. He's 1 for 2. He was safe on an error in the first, and he doubled when he came back and batted again in the first. He was the 11th hitter in the first inning. He doubled, and that scored Dave Cash. That made it 8-0 Pittsburgh. It's a hard grounder to second. No, Powell cut it off. He threw to Belanger for 1. There was no throw to first, so 1 out. Al Oliver's on first. With all the talk about the Orioles' infield defense, Robinson, Belanger, and Johnson, Boog Powell, for a big man, he's pretty nimble at first base. I don't know if he's as nimble as Newman on Seinfeld with his ability to climb trees, but Powell's pretty limber and nimble for a big man in the field. Here's Willie Stargell. He's 0 for 2. He was safe on an error in the first, and he struck out. That ended the first inning. He was the 12th hitter of the inning. Fastball called, strike 1. High and inside, ball 1. Ground ball down the first base line. That's foul. Strike 2. Low and outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 3 for Boswell. Here's Bob Robertson. He is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first. That scored Cash and Oliver, and he struck out in the second. Breaking ball low, ball 1. Another one too low, ball 2. Changeup, he looks at strike 1. Caught the inside corner, strike 2. Ball 3, full count, 2 outs. Grounder down the first base line, it's foul. Fly ball down the left field line, but it's hooking foul. Buford's after it, but it makes the seats. Pops it up on the infield. Powell takes charge, and he'll take it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 3 in game 3. It is Pittsburgh 9, Baltimore 2. In the 4th inning for Baltimore, it will be Hendricks, Brooks Robinson, and Mark Belanger. Hendricks is 1 for 1 today. He singled in the second. He singled and he came around to score. It's fly ball in center field. Oliver to his right. Takes it. 1 out. Here's Brooks Robinson. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second. He is 5 for 8 in the World Series, hitting .625. He got a piece of that one. Strike 1. Grounder up the middle. Alley to his left. Has it. Throws him out. 2 outs. Here's Mark Belanger. He's 0 for 1. He grounded it into a force play in the second. That scored Boog Powell. Fastball around the letters. Ball 1. Low and in. Ball 2. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Grounder down the third base line. That's foul. One of my many alarms going off. Curveball, fly ball down the left field line. That is foul. Too high, ball 3, full count. Grounder right back to the mound. Blast, throws him out. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Pittsburgh 9, Baltimore 2. Here is Roberto Clemente. He is 2 for 2 today. He singled in the first. That scored Willie Stargell, and he hit a solo home run in the second. Clemente is glad to be back in Pittsburgh. He was very critical about the condition of the field at Memorial Stadium. Between rain and Colts football, the field in Baltimore was not in the best of shape. Here's a curveball, ball one. Clemente hits fly ball into right center. That's off the wall. He's in second with a stand-up double. That's his third hit of the game. Here is Rich Hebner. He's 1 for 1 today. He walked, and he's in the first. He singled in the second. Hendricks out to talk to Boswell. Fastball, the outside half of the plate. Strike one. Inside, ball one. It's a shallow fly ball in the center field. Blair running in. He's got it. 1 out. Johnson was going back, and he made room for Blair coming in. Here's the catcher, Manny Sanguin, who's 2 for 2. He singled in the first. That scored Bob Robertson, and he singled in the second. It's a grounder to second. Johnson dives. Has it to throw to first. 2 outs. Clemente takes third. So runner on third. 2 outs. Here's Gene Alley. He grounded into a force play in the first. That scored Clemente, and he flied out in the second. Flied out all the way to the wall to Buford, and Hebner was able to tag up. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Strike one. It's grounder to short. Belanger has it. Throws him out. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played 4 here in Pittsburgh in Game 3 of the World Series. Pittsburgh leads 9-2. Pittsburgh has 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They've left 5 men on base. Baltimore has 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. They've left 3 men on base. Pinch hitting for Baltimore will be Kurt Moton. Moton is 0 for 2 in the World Series as a pinch hitter. He swung at a bad pitch there. Strike one. Moton hits a base hit into left field. That's his first hit of the series. Here's Don Buford. He's 0 for 1. He popped the cash in the first. He walked in the second. Wide of the plate and low, ball one. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike one. Swing and a miss on the fastball, strike two. Ball two on a changeup. Swing and a miss, strike three on it. Another changeup. That's strikeout number 2 for Blass. 1 out. Here's Frank Robinson. He is 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the first, and he grounded into a force play in the second. Fastball, ball one. Just outside, ball 2. Up and away, that's ball 3. Swing and a miss, strike one. Ball 4. Second walk given up by Blass. Here's Dave Johnson, who's 0 for 2. He grounded a cash in the first. grounded to Alley in the third. Sanguillen going to talk to Blass. Probably tell him quit messing around and just throw some strikes. During the broadcast of the real 1971 World Series, they were always mentioning how Manny Sanguillen is a very happy and happy-go-lucky type individual. He's from Panama. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike one. Johnson hits a grounder to short. Alley's only plays the first. Bang, bang, play. He's out. Bolton takes third. Robinson's on second. 2 outs. Here's Boog Powell, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the second and grounded out to Robertson in the third. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Strike one. Breaking ball high. Ball one. It's a line drive into right field, but that's right at Clemente. 3 outs. No runs. 1 hit, no errors. 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Pittsburgh 9, Baltimore 2. Dick Hall comes in to pitch for Baltimore. Hall did not appear in the championship series. In the regular season, he appeared in 32 games. He had a record of 3-1 with no saves, an ERA of 6.18. He averaged just a bit over 1 inning per appearance. Leading off against him is Steve Blass. Blass is 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt in the first, and he grounded to second in the second inning. Blass hits base hit in the right field. Dick Hall got into 2 games in the 1969 World Series. He pitched 2 innings. He gave up 2 hits. Walked 2. They were both intentional walks, and he struck out 1. He is 41 years old. Let's see. Yeah, his career goes back to 1955. He moved to the American League from the Pirates in 1960. To the Athletics, then he went to Baltimore, then he went to Philadelphia, and he came back to Baltimore in 1969. I don't think he was a bonus baby, but with the Pirates in that era, in the 55, I don't remember. He very well might have been. Here's Dave Cash. He's 3 for 3 today. He singled in the first. Then in his second at bat in the first, he singled again, scoring Hebner and Alley, and then he singled again in the third. Strike one called on a fastball. Swing and a miss on another fastball. Dick Hall, even at 41, can still throw with some power. High and inside, ball 1. Ball 2. Flying outside, barely, just missed. Ball 3. Curveball caught the outside corner. Strike 3 called. 1 out. Here's Al Oliver. He's 1 for 3. He was safe on an error in the first. Then his second time up in the first, he doubled. That scored Dave Cash, and he grounded into a force play in the third. I guess I forgot to mention it. We do have an official game here in Pittsburgh. Curve across the knee, strike 1. Strike 2 called on another curveball. High, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outside, ball 3. He works the count full. Oliver hits fly ball into left field. Buford going back, and he watches that one go. That's a home run for Al Oliver. His first home run of the series. And that'll make it 11-2 in favor of Pittsburgh. Here's Willie Stargell, who's over 3. He was safe on an error in the first. Then again in the first, he was the 12th batter. He struck out, and then he struck out again in the third. Swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 1. Another swing and a miss, strike 2. At the shoulders, ball 1. Just off the ground, ball 2. It's fly ball into right field. Frank Robinson moving back, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Bob Robertson. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the first. That scored Cash and Oliver. He struck out in the second, and he popped the Boog Powell in the third. Robertson hits base hit in right field. Pittsburgh so far, they've had base runners in every inning. Here's Roberto Clemente. He's 3 for 3 today. Singled in the first. That scored Stargell. Hit a solo home run in the second. Doubled in the fourth. He just needs a triple for the cycle. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Grounder up the middle. Belanger to his left has it. Throws him out. 3 outs. But the Pirates get 2 runs. 3 hits, no errors, 1 left. We played 5 here in Pittsburgh. It is the Pirates 11, the Orioles 2. In the 6th inning for Baltimore, it will be Paul Blair, Elrod Hendricks, and Brooks Robinson. Paul Blair is 0 for 2. He lined to Gene Alley in the second, and he grounded to Dave Cash in the third. Low, ball 1. That was high, ball 2. In there at the knee, strike 1 with the fastball. Changeup on the inside corner, strike 2. Low and outside, ball 3. Grounder up the middle, Alley to his left has it, throws him out. 1 out. Here's Elrod Hendricks. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the second, and he flied to Al Oliver in the fourth. Brooks Robinson's on deck. That was high, ball 1. Just got the outside corner, strike 1. At the shoulders and wide, ball 2. Low and outside, ball three. 3 balls at 1 strike. Fouls it back. That makes the count full. It's fly ball in the center field. Al Oliver is there, and he's got it. That's 2 outs. Here's Brooks Robinson. He's 1 for 2 today. He singled in the second. He grounded to Alley in the 4th. It's fly ball in the center field. Oliver, Stargell going back there. Just watch that one go. Home run for Brooks Robinson. That's his second home run of the series. That'll make it 11-3 in favor of Pittsburgh. Here's Mark Belanger, the shortstop. He's 0 for 2. He grounded into a force play in the second. That scored Boog Powell, and he grounded to Steve Blass in the 4th. Breaking ball. That was out of the strike zone, but he swung and missed. Strike 1. Ball 1. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Low and away. Ball 3. It's a 1-hopper to short. Alley's up with the throw to first. 3 outs. But the Orioles get 1 run on Brooks Robinson's home run. 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Pittsburgh 11, Baltimore 3. For Pittsburgh in the 6th, it will be Rich Hebner, Manny Sanguillen, and Gene Alley. Hebner is 1 for 2. He has a walk and a single. Curveball, line drive down the first base line. That's foul. High and inside, ball 1. High and tight, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Hebner hits a high fly ball into right field. Frank Robinson is there. And he's got it. 1 out. Here's the catcher, Manny Sanguillen. He's 2 for 3. He singled in the first. That scored Bob Robertson. He singled in the second. And then he grounded to Dave Johnson in the 4th. Low and inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Base hit up the middle. That's Sanguillen's 3rd hit of the game. That's the 15th hit for Pittsburgh. Here's Gene Alley. He's 0 for 3 today. He grounded it into a force play in the first. That scored Roberto Clemente. Flight out to Don Buford in the second. That put Buford up against the wall. Hebner tagged and took 3rd. And he grounded to Mark Belanger in the 4th. He looks at strike 1. Hits fly ball in the left field. Buford going back. He's at the track. And he's got it. 2 outs. Here's the pitcher, Steve Blass. He's 1 for 2. He had a sacrifice bunt in the first. He grounded to Dave Johnson in the second, and he singled in the 5th. Hendricks goes to talk to Dick Hall. Low, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hits a fly ball into center field. Paul Blair is there, and he's got it. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 6 in Pittsburgh. Pirates lead 11-3. Pirates have 11 runs, 15 hits, no errors. They've left 7 men on base. Baltimore has 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. They've left 5 men on base. Pittsburgh scored 7 unearned runs in the first. And that's been the real story of the game. Pinch hitting for Baltimore will be Merv Rettenmund. He is 0 for 1 in the World Series. Curveball. Too low, ball 1. That hit the inside corner, strike 1. Ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Caught the inside corner, strike 3 called, 1 out. That is strikeout number 3 for Blass. Here's Don Buford, he's 0 for 2 today. Buford hits fly ball into right field. Clemente is there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Frank Robinson. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the first. Grounded into a force play in the second. Walked in the 5th. Grounder up the middle. Alley has it. Throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Baltimore in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Pittsburgh 11, Baltimore 3. Rettenmund will stay in the game playing right field, taking over for Frank Robinson. New pitcher for the Orioles is Pete Rickard. I don't believe Rickard appeared in the championship series. No. Oh yeah, he did. He had 1 inning pitched. Gave up 1 hit, he walked 1, he struck out 1. In the regular season, he got into 31 games. He had a record of 3-1 and 2 saves and an ERA of 3.86. Rickard will have some extensive World Series experience. He pitched in the 64 World Series for the Dodgers. He got into 1 game. He started a game in the 1967 World Series for Baltimore. That was a series Baltimore beat the Giants. And he had 3 relief appearances in the 1969 World Series with Baltimore, where he had a record of 0-2, so he has a lifetime 0-2 record in the World Series. It'll be the top of the order for Pittsburgh in the 7th. Dave Cash leads off. He is 3 for 4 today. He singled in the first. Then he came around and batted again in the first, singling again, scoring, driving in 2 runs. He singled in the third, and he struck out in the 5th. Curveball, low, ball 1. Low, and it barely inside, ball 2. He tipped that one, strike 1. Cash hits a base hit into right field. That's 4 hits today for Dave Cash. Here's Al Oliver. He's 2 for 4. He was safe on an error in the first. The first of 2 critical errors by the Orioles that inning. Then as the 11th hitter in the first, he doubled. That scored Cash. He grounded it into a force play in the third, and he had a two-run home run in the fifth. Pirates have two home runs today. Clemente hit a solo home run in the second, and Oliver hit a two-run homer in the fifth. Probably at the end of this inning, I will recap the Pittsburgh first inning. That will be an extensive recap. Swing and a miss on a curveball, strike one. He looks at strike two on the fastball. It was 95 miles an hour. Rickert, he is a power pitcher. He's 32 years old. He could still bring it, though. He originally came up with the Dodgers in 1962. Then he went to the Senators in 1965, and the Senators traded him to Baltimore during the 1967 season. And he threw a no-hitter in 1967. Ball one. Base hit into left field. Cash stops at second. So we have runners at first and second. Nobody out. That's the third hit of the game for Al Oliver. Here's Willie Stargell. He's 0 for 4 today. He was safe on an error in the first, the second critical error in that inning. And then he struck out again in the first. He was the 12th batter in the first. Struck out in the third. And flied out to Frank Robinson in right field in the fifth. Robinson was right up against the wall. Curveball, low and outside, ball one. It's a grounder to second. Johnson has it. His only play is the first. One out. Here's Bob Robertson. He's 2 for 4. He singled in the first. That scored Cash and Oliver. He struck out in the second. He popped the first in the third, and he singled again in the fifth. Strike one called on the fastball. Hits a fly ball into center field. Paul Blair going back. He's at the track. He's got it. 2 outs. Cash tags. He'll score without a throw. It is 12-3 Pittsburgh. Here is Roberto Clemente. He's having quite a day today. He is 3 for 4. He singled in the first, driving in Stargell. He had a solo home run in the second. He doubled in the fourth, and then he grounded it to Belanger in the fifth. All he needs is a triple for the cycle. Curveball inside, ball one. Too high, ball two. Low, ball three. 3 balls, no strikes. Caught the outside corner, strike one. Ball 4. First walk given up by Rickert. That brings up Rich Hebner, who's 1 for 3. He singled in the second. Also walked in the first. Fastball, strike one called. Grounder down the first base line. That's foul. Just missed outside, ball one. Inside, too far. Ball 2. Fouls it back. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Inside, ball 3. Too high, ball 4. That'll load the bases. That'll bring out Earl Weaver. That is all for Pete Ricker. Coming in to pitch is Grant Jackson. Grant Jackson has 1 inning pitched. In a series, he has 1 save. He got the save in Game 2. Yeah, because he came in and pitched, and Baltimore was only ahead by 3. That brings up Manny Sanguillen. He is 3 for 4. He singled in the first. That scored Robertson. He singled in the second. He grounded to Johnson in the fourth, and he singled again in the sixth. It's grounder to first. Powell has it. He tosses to Jackson covering. 3 outs. No, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Stay left. They left the bases loaded. We played 7 in Pittsburgh. It is the Pirates 12, the Orioles 3. All right, I said I would recap the 8-run first inning. It was 3 up, 3 down for Baltimore in the first. And then Pittsburgh came up. Dave Cash led off the game with a single. Al Oliver was safe on an error by Dave Johnson. Then Willie Stargell was safe on an error by Boog Powell. The error on Dave Johnson looked like that may have been a double play ball. So with bases loaded, nobody out. Bob Robertson singled. That scored Cash and Oliver. Clemente singled. That scored Stargell. Hebner walked. That loaded the bases again. Still nobody out. Sanguillen singled. That scored Robertson. Bases still loaded. That made it 4-0 Pittsburgh. Then Alley grounded into a force play. Clemente scored. That left runners on first and third, 1 out. Steve Blass hit a sacrifice bunt. That moved Alley to second. So second and third, 2 outs. Cash in his second at bat in the inning singled. That scored Hebner. That scored Alley. That made it 7-0 Pittsburgh. Dave Boswell came in to pitch. Cash stole second. Oliver doubled off the wall. That scored Cash. And then Stargell finally struck out to end the inning. That made it 8-0. Then in the Baltimore second, Powell led off with a single. Then with 1 out, Hendricks single. That moved Powell to second. Frank Robinson singled. Or no, I'm sorry, Brooks Robinson singled. That loaded the bases. Belanger grounded into a force play. That scored Powell. Then Boswell singled. That scored Hendricks. That made it 8-2. Then in the bottom of the second, with 1 out, Clemente hits a solo home run. That made it 9-2. Pittsburgh in the fifth. With 1 out, Steve Blass on first. Al Oliver hit a 2-run home run. That made it 11-2 Pittsburgh. In the sixth inning with 2 outs, Frank Robinson or Brooks Robinson, rather, I'm sorry, hit a solo home run. They made it Pittsburgh 11, Baltimore 3. And just now in the bottom of the seventh, Cash led off with a single. Oliver singled. Stargell grounded to second. That moved Cash to third. Oliver to second. And then Bob Robertson hit a deep fly ball to center field. Cash scored on the sacrifice. That made it 12-3. And that's where we're at right now. In the top of the eighth inning for Baltimore, they will have Dave Johnson, Boog Powell, and Paul Blair. Dave Johnson is 0 for 3 today. Foul pop up, third base side. Hebner's after it, but it makes the seats. This may be Blas's last inning. I don't know if he'll come out for the ninth or not. I mean, provided he gets through this inning, of course. Johnson hits fly ball into center field. Al Oliver going back. He's at the wall, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Boog Powell. He's 1 for 3. He singled back in the second. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike one. Steve Blass looks like he hasn't lost any velocity. Curveball. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Low. Way inside. Ball one. Fouls it back. Strike two. High. Ball two. 2 balls. 2 strikes. Ball 3, he works it full. Powell hits base hit into center field. Chico Simone is going to run for Boog Powell. Here is Paul Blair. He's 0 for 3. Inside, ball one. Blair hits base hit into right field. Clemente's up with it. Cash got a bad start on that one. Here's Elrod Hendricks. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the second. We have 1 out. Runners on first and second. Outside, ball one. Strike one called. Fastball. Hendricks swung at a bad pitch. Strike two. Liner down the right field line. That's foul. Fouls it back. Strike two. Inside, ball two. Fouls it back. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. It's a grounder to second. Cash to Alley for 1, to first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Pittsburgh 12, Baltimore 3 in Game 3 of the 1971 World Series. Chico Simone remains in the game to play first base. And Jerry Devannon takes over at third base for Brooks Robinson. In the bottom of the 8th for Pittsburgh, it will be Gene Alley, the pitcher spot, and Dave Cash. Gene Alley is 0 for 4 today. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike one. Caught the outside corner, strike two. Grant Jackson seems like I remember him more as I think a member of the Pirates than as a member of the Orioles. Swing and a miss. He chased one out of the strike zone. One out. Here's Steve Blass. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the fifth. He also had a sacrifice bunt in the first. It's fly ball down the left field line. That's hook and foul. Inside, ball one. High and outside, ball two. Strike two call. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here's Dave Cash. He's 4 for 5 today. Singled in the first. Then he was the 10th hitter in the first inning. He singled again. He drove in 2 runs. He singled in the third. Struck out in the fifth. Singled in the seventh. Just low. Ball one. Swing and a miss. Strike one on a fastball. It's a grounder to short. Belanger's up with it. Throws him out. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the 9th inning in Game 3 of the 1971 World Series. Pittsburgh leads the Orioles 12-3. Pittsburgh is making a couple of defensive changes for the 9th. The old pro Bill Mazeroski will be coming into play second. And Jackie Hernandez will come into play shortstop. Steve Blass is out, looking for a complete game. Leading off is Jerry Devannon, making his first at-bat in the World Series. He chased a pitch out of the strike zone, strike one. Devannon came to Baltimore from the San Diego Padres. In the regular season, Devannon hit 193. He had no home runs. He had 18 runs batted in. He did not appear in the League Championship Series. Strike two call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mark Belanger's on deck. Devannon hits a grounder to first. Robertson has it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. Here's Mark Belanger. He's 0 for 3 today. Fastball. He got a piece of that one. Strike one. Ball one on the curveball. Inside, ball 2. It's a grounder to short. Hernandez. It's off his glove. First error of the game for Pittsburgh. Here's Merv Rettenman. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the seventh. Grounder up the middle. Mazeroski steps on second to first. Not in time. Two outs. Baltimore's down to their last out. Got a little taste of some of the defensive wizardry of Bill Mazeroski there. Here is Don Buford, who is 0 for 3 today. Too high, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. High and outside, ball two. Buford hits a high fly ball in the right center. This should be it. Oliver tracks it down. He dives, and he's got it. He ends the game on a great play. Pittsburgh wins it 12-3. They take a 2-win to 1-loss lead in the World Series. For Pittsburgh, it was 12 runs, 17 hits, 1 error. Baltimore had 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Steve Blass won all the way. He got the win. He didn't look like he had his best stuff, but he got the job done. He pitched 9 innings, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He gave up 1 home run. He walked 2. He struck out 3. Pitching was a lot more problematic today for the Orioles. Jim Palmer pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 hits. He was charged with 8 runs, but only 1 of those was earned. He walked 1. He had no strikeouts. He was relieved by Dave Boswell. He ended up pitching 3 1/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 1 run. That was earned. That was Clemente's home run. He struck out 3. DeCall pitched 2 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. He gave up a home run to Al Oliver. He struck out 1. Pete Rickard in 2/3 of an inning gave up 2 hits, 1 run. That was earned. He walked 2. And Grant Jackson in an inning and a third struck out 2. Dave Cash went 4 for 6 with 2 runs batted in. Al Oliver went 3 for 5. He had a home run and 3 runs batted in. Roberto Clemente went 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. Star of the game today is Al Oliver. Pittsburgh ended up leaving 10 men on base. Baltimore left 7. Theoretically, Baltimore could have been out of the first inning after 3 batters. Cash led off the game with a single. Oliver hit what looked like it might have been a double play ball. That was booted by Dave Johnson. And then Willie Stargell followed that up with a ground ball that was booted by Boog Powell. And that led to an 8-run first inning for Pittsburgh. 7 of those runs were unearned. And after that, Baltimore tried to chip away, but Pittsburgh kept coming back and getting back the runs that Baltimore scored. Time of this game is 3 hours and 10 minutes. The next World Series game, Game 4, will be historic because that will be the first nighttime World Series game ever played. That will be Dave McNally going for Baltimore and Murtaugh doesn't name his starters this far in advance, but that will probably be Bob Johnson going for Pittsburgh. And so, once again, our final score today in Game 3 was Pittsburgh 12, Baltimore 3. This game was actually kind of similar to Game 2 of the 1971 World Series as was played in real life. Hope you enjoyed this game. It was kind of anticlimactic, but thank you for watching.